Welcome to another update here in the TCTV studios. And speaking of studios, we've got some more work done over in the new studio that we're going to take a look at. And I've got a couple questions for you guys I'd like to get your input on. So grab your favorite beverage, take a seat, don't go anywhere. Before we get started, I did want to apologize for two things real quick. One, it is pouring outside the studio right now, and it's quite loud in here. I hope you're not hearing it on the audio. If you are, I'm very sorry. And I also wanted to apologize for this mess over here. I'm still working on the CA glue comparison video. So I've left this mess over here because I got some more filming to do. So I apologize this kind of being in the way. But I did want to real quickly take a look at the new studio, an update on the new studio. And if you remember right, we've been painting the floor, which we've pretty much got done now. So we started with 2 coats of a textured epoxy that I did the whole entire floor with, and then I've gone over top of that with just a regular floor paint to give us coverage that we need, so to give us a solid gray coverage, and it's turned out pretty well. Now, I was just a little short. I only got 1 gallon of the floor paint, and it ended up being just a little bit short. It wasn't enough to cover right by the door and to do the edges around the garage itself. So I'll have to pick up 1 more gallon of that to finish, to completely finish off painting the floor. The next issue we need to take care of is I found 2 different critters inside of the garage. That's with all the doors closed. I've walked in and found a mouse and a cat. Both of them took off running and out the backside corner of the garage. The mouse has been taken care of, and I haven't seen the cat again, and it was quite the inept cat because I took care of the mouse myself. But what I thought we would do is take a walk around the outside of the new studio here and see where all we need to seal up and to eliminate points of entry for different critters and bugs and anything like that, because we can't have animals in and out of this new studio space, especially once we get it set up and I have the different sets set up and equipment in here. We can't, like cats and mice, they're going to tear that stuff up, so we can't have them coming in and going. So what I thought we'd do, let's take a quick walk around the garage to see where we need to fix some different issues, starting with the rotten spot at the bottom of the garage door here. We looked at this before, so this is absolutely a point of entry for animals and bugs, along with the entire underside of the garage door itself, or the overhead door itself. It's going to need a new seal, or maybe I might just replace the door completely. And even on the other side, where there's not much rot, you can see, in fact, this is where I saw the mouse come in, and when it scurried across the floor, it came in right here beside the garage door. So even where there's not rot, there's still a point of entry here. So I'm going to have to run, in fact, I think I'm going to use some hardy plank to run new boards all the way down to seal, all the way down to the ground, so different animals can't get in and out. And the side hung door, the pedestrian door, has a doggy door in it. And I don't know why anybody would put a doggy door into a garage. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but it has it. So what I think I'm going to do is completely replace this door. This door is not the best door in the world anyways, and I'm going to have somewhat expensive stuff inside of here. So I'm going to put a little bit sturdier door here anyway. So that's going to get completely replaced, along with the hanging outlet we've got going on here. Not only does that just need to be fixed for safety purposes, but there is a hole in the wall, and that is a point of entry for different bugs, probably mainly, or other critters. So we're going to take care of that also. Moving along the side of the garage, we've got all these plants and shrubs and whatnot that we're going to have to remove so that I can get into the bottom edge of this sidewalk, because there are, looking from the inside, there are points of light I can see coming in underneath this side wall that we're going to need to seal up. And so I'm going to have to move all these shrubs because I think there might even be some rot under here in this hardy plank. So we're going to have to remove all these shrubs so we can get in there and seal that up. And we've got another hanging outlet that needs reinstalled and fixed. That is absolutely another point of entry here underneath the eave of the garage. And on the back side of the garage, or the new studio space, we've got a storage unit that's just full of junk from whoever lived here previously. And this is going to have to be taken care of. Definitely going to have to move it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I might use it for storage, or I'm thinking about turning it into a nice playhouse for a certain 2-year-old that runs around here. But either way, we're going to have to move it so that I can get to the bottom edge of the back wall here, because it's got rot in on the bottom side of the hardy plank that's going to need to be replaced and sealed up. Moving around the back corner, we can see there's more rot on the bottom corner and more rot on the bottom of the hardy plank. And whoever lived lived here previously left a big pile of what I think is a trampoline frame. I think that's what this is. So we got to get that out of here. But we can see that the bottom hardy on this side of the studio space looks like it's okay. It just needs to be cleaned. And here's a closer look at the back corner of the garage that we looked at previously from the inside. This is the bottom. That's pretty rotten, but I mean, a mouse could fit through here, but I don't think the cat did. So I don't know where the cat escaped through, but this is definitely a point where a mouse or something of that size can go. So we're going to have to definitely fix this up. And further up the sidewall towards the overhead garage door, you can see there's a ton of cables, coaxial cables from all the different cable companies who have come through and had their cable service added to this house throughout the years. And the cables have all got left behind, some of which actually enter into the garage or the studio space. So those are going to have to be removed and sealed up. The latest one comes from a satellite dish, which doesn't go into the garage, but it is kind of ugly. So I think I'm going to remove all that. I don't actually use these different cable services. I just do streaming. So I'm going to remove all those wires just to get rid of the clutter. But would definitely have to seal up the holes that go into the garage. So you can see there's a good bit of work that's going to have to happen outside of the garage to what I'll call critter-proof this garage or studio space. We want to keep the elements out, including the animals. So we're going to have to do this first. I'm going to take care of this first before we start working on the inside, before we start adding electrical and doing any drywall or any of that kind of thing. And I'm going to start on this now. Well, once this weather goes through, then I'm going to start on this now and get that done so that we can really get moving ahead quickly on the inside of the studio and can get filming inside the studio. And speaking of, I've got a couple questions for you guys that I'd like to get your input that concerns how we do some filming moving forward. But let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about it. So I'm working on the studio space outside, but there's also 2 rooms inside that are going to be a work room and a studio space inside. In fact, the 2 rooms we saw previously in previous update, I'm actually going to be changing. I'm going to be moving to the other side of the upstairs and using those 2 rooms. One is a workspace and one is studio space. We'll be doing voiceover work and that kind of stuff. So basically a sound stage. But I'm also building a new workspace. In fact, I'm moving everything there now, because I want to get back to work now on the new series CCG 2084, and want to get back to work on the Gremlin and all this stuff. So I need my new workspace up and running. And with that said, I do a lot of work off camera. So I do a lot of work and then we come and have an update and we take a look at it. So my thought was, and I wanted to get your input if this is something you'd be interested in, what if while I was doing that work, we just live streamed it? What if we live streamed me doing the work where you guys could watch live, give input live, we could chit chat back and forth while I actually work on the stuff so you don't miss it. And then we'll of course also have the update. And so people who don't see the live stream, I'll bring some of that footage over so you can get updated and everybody can be updated. But the work itself, instead of me just working by myself, what if I did the work with you guys? Is that something you'd be interested in? Would you like to, take part in that as I was working live and watch it live? And then with that also said, well, let me back up before I move on. The reason I ask, if that's something you're interested in, I can build out the new workspace to accommodate that. So I can build out camera racks so that it can be filmed live while we do it. So I wanted to get your input because that's going to help me determine how I build out the workspace. Anyways, let me know down below about that. But also, in that same vein, I was thinking when we air the CCG 2084 series, which will probably be a couple months down the road yet, but when we air them, what if we did them as premieres? So I've never done a premiere. Is that something you would be interested in? I don't know if people really are interested in watching them as a premiere. So in other words, there'll be a premiere time that it comes out and I'll be there. There'll be a chat that we can take part in so we can chit chat about it as we watch it. And then of course it stays as video on demand after that. But is that something you'd be interested in? I'm really not sure. I've never done a premiere, so I'm not sure if that's something that you guys how you would like to see the CCG 2084 series, where they come out once a week and premiere as premieres, that is. Let me know. Let me know what you think down below. And let me know what you think about the new studio space, or if you have any ideas. If you have any ideas about the outdoor space too, and best ways to take care of some of that stuff, if you have ideas about that, I'm not an expert at this by any means, kind of learning as I go. So if you have any expert advice, let me know down in the comment section. I really would appreciate it. Let me know about the live streams down in the comment section. Is that something you're interested in? Along with the premiere of, doing the CCG 2084 as premieres also. Let me know about that down in the comment section. Hit that like button. It really does help out on the series and the channel. Really do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You want to keep up with these different updates, and if we do live streams, keep updated with that. And when the new series start coming out, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.